Oh, yeah. It's Friday night and I'm hanging with my baby.
Love God first, then self, walk with pride. Now talk about what makes you feel good inside. Love will make you feel good, make you feel whack. Rough like bark, sweet as a box of Cracker Jack. That special lady that makes your life complete. The one you're proud to be seen with when you're walking down the street. Now that's love my way. Damn it, I'm feeling okay. It's Friday, a payday, and I'm going to scoop up my baby.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right.
TGIF or something like that. Got 2 whole days to play before I have to come back to the job. The plantation, some might say adult high school with all kinds of attitudes on display. Some folks love to work, some work to chill, but everybody gotta work it if they wanna pay their bills. I lost my last 2 jobs, this is my confession, so I call the job what it is, a blessing and it's quitting time. And love is the flavor, rush to the bank to get a pocket full of green paper. Weekend begins, end of my day, so call the queen and let her know the king is on the way.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right.
I call my baby, we both know the time. I says, hey princess, your place to mine. She says, either or sounds swell. Let's get out the house and chill at a hotel. She was like, what? Said we might as well rally. Got tickets to Saturday night show at Blues Alley. She was like, hey, that's what's up. Cause we can lay around all day and chill before I scoop you up. I'm going on my end. Get an outfit, a 12-pack of Heineken. This weekend, baby, it's about you and me. Pack the laptop, I'll bring a couple of DVDs. She said it sounds so exciting. Guess we'll hit the wharf, get some crab legs, some shrimp, and whiting. Now it's set, let the games begin. Cell phones off, no interruptions from family or friends. Friday with your baby, it's like a blessing. So pack those special panties so I can unwrap my present. Saturday show, by the way, Brother Rob opening up for Layla Hathaway. Hey.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right. It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right. It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with your boy. It's your boy Drazy, Dre's Radio Cafe. Another episode of, in my opinion, today's episode is going to be a little bit different. I'm actually thinking into the idea of a couple of things that I just wanted to try to get people to understand, and in the process, even if it comes down to it, just let people know this is all literally my opinion only. I don't want nobody to be offended by anything that I say in any of this. In the very beginning, I tell y'all viewers, just listening discretion is advised. This is just my opinion in any form or fashion, and this all comes off based off the idea of appearance, man, and an appearance in certain things. It makes a difference when it comes to a lot of situations. I think we have what is called, I call it, discrimination of appearance, and I think it is held to a higher count, a higher ability of things when you look at it from every angle in life. It's not just my life, it's anybody's life. And the reason why I say that is because I've noticed that I've looked at some old pictures of myself, and I'm really not impressed with how big I was back in, well, how big I am now compared to how I was back in the day. And I look at a lot of places, businesses, a lot of just people in general that have these different outlooks on opinion or appearances and stuff like this. This is where I think it stems from, and this is basically, like I said, my opinion only. So for anybody that knows me, they know how I am, what I look like, my appearance, my gender, my nationality, all that stuff. And I work in a corporate business, really corporate business that deals with food service. And I think that when you think about food, you think about eating, and when you think about eating, you think about disabilities, disabilities, eating disorders. I'm sorry, and in the process, you think heavy-sized people, restaurants, things of that nature. It could be a catch-22 to things. It could mean your food is good, but some situations, on the other hand, think that the food is great, but long story short, I just think that in some cases of one of another, there are situations where it's hard to explain the idea of the way people feel when they have a job where you're overlooked because of your appearance or your nationality or things of that nature. Now, they're not going to tell you it's discrimination. They're not going to tell you it's anything else. They'll make an excuse of why it is, but you can't validate yourself because there's no proof to it. So, long story short, years before I even became a manager, I had numerous, opportunities to become a manager, and I think a lot of it was because of my size. I think none of it probably had to do with my color, but I think a lot of it had to do with my size. And the reason why I say it is because the person that was before me kind of got overlooked too because of certain things too. But there's been other managers in the position there that has been of size and as of color and different ethnicities and things of that nature. Long story short is what I'm trying to get at is that I think, like, if I was slim gendered like the majority of the other managers and other people that are staffed around the company, I probably would have been more further off by now. Okay, because I've seen it. One of my managers is the same as me. Only difference is much skinnier, moved up the company ladder, a lot easier, diverse. I'm not getting deep into that because it is what it is, and I'm not disappointed with who I am. That's just the thing about it. I just feel like there is a notion across the board that people think that there's now racism or any kind of disadvantage in this world, this corporate world that we live in, about anything. And that the reason why I say this is because, and I use me as an example in the beginning, is because of the fact that I've never seen too many really heavy set, over their weight limit, past their unhealthy presidents in any form of fashion. You look at the presidents we have now. Mr. Trump is electing, going back again, things of that nature, and he's probably, in compared to the past, we can go back as far as before there's been a couple. Roosevelt was a little bit heavy set, but not super heavy set. There's been several, but not many. And I think that, I don't know if it's just me and I haven't watched this pattern bypass, but like Christie, New York Mayor Christie, back in the day, he was heavy set. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it was what it was. And they didn't give him the recognition or the opportunity to get into that position. They let him run, but never made it. But past that, I haven't seen too many whatsoever heavy set or, well off, unhealthy candidates for president. Majority of them have been really slim, things of that nature. And that brings up the question of, is there a standard to where we pick our partners, running mates, presidents, things of that nature? I'm only saying this because it made me think about it, that it's the same situation in like corporate world that we live in, because I haven't seen too many, unless they own their own business or they're not running something that is not of its nature. I mean, something that's not in food service. I don't know if you haven't ever noticed that though, but it's just a thought process or a thing to think about. And the reason why I put this into play is because I don't think we talk about a lot of things of this world like that. We don't really give it the opportunity or the focus that it deserves in some sense or another. And my thought process behind it all is just that, like, do we really, because a lot of times we really don't even think of it like that. And I say this because our current president, Joe Biden, has really just, since he's decided no longer to run, I think it has a lot to do with age. And it's always been age, and it also been health. If we had does that mean we have to have a healthy president in order to run a country? We do. But at the same time too, I never seen really a plus size or heavy size president ever run the country really in our timeline, other than hell, really, honestly, other than Trump. I mean, have you seen anybody in your timeline? I mean, we can go as far back, like I said again, to Theodore Roosevelt. Was heavy set in his time, but not super heavy set. And even at that point, you know what I'm saying, we hadn't seen anything really plus size. Is it a bad thing? No, it's not. But when you're looking at a world that we live in now that has so many different fear factors, so many different aspects, so many different ways of how we look at things, so many different ways of how we address things, it's really hard to figure out and address the whole elephant in the room sometimes, because we really don't look at it. Even if you looked at the candidates now for Republicans and Democrats, do you see any that are either not well off, that are plus size, different proportionations, and whether tall, short, any of that nature? I think we really stereotypically try to address just what people want to see. And I think that is weird, because even in other countries, you look at that, in hell, go to Kim Jong-un. Go back that far. I mean, he was a little plus size, but my thing is this: that's not our country. Our country tries to be perfectionated at everything. I mean, it's crazy. There's only certain sports, really, in the American terms, that we have really not even plus size, but they're just strong. Shot put, disc throwing. You can name off a couple. You can't have a plus size jockey riding a horse. You can't really, certain things you can't do plus sized. But I haven't seen an opportunity where somebody has an opportunity to run for, or actually even be in a running for, in certain things here in the United States, or any country for that matter, but just United States. Now you got sumo wrestlers, and you've got wrestling in general, things of that nature, that basically that is what it is. But what else have you seen that involves, other than our American sports like football? I mean, you don't see too many heavy set baseball players, but it's because they're always running and so healthy. Same thing with soccer. The same thing with basketball. Charles Barkley, Big Baby Davis. They were all plus size, but they weren't plus size as in like so big they couldn't run up and down the court. You don't see nobody like what was dude's name sheesh, I got my mind messed up now. And one basketball. You don't see guys like that doing that, but that was all about trick stuff. You know what I'm saying? It was all about tricksters and trick stuff and basketball and the love of basketball. And he was a professional. So, I mean, it wasn't like we sitting here talking about anything off the ordinary, but it was what it was. I find it very hard for us to look at things and not think that some things are stereotypical. That's why we don't really look at it from the outside in. We look at it from the inside out. And glass half full, glass half empty, however you want to express it, it still exists in this world. I find it hard to believe that we can sit here and say that we don't deal with this every day, because actually, in honest to God truth, we do deal with it every day. We just see it on a different level. I use myself once again as an example in the beginning because it was so hard for me to break into the position of being where I am now without somebody having to look over me. And then even if that I feel like some days I am manipulated by the idea that that's the way it is. That's why I have to feel like I have to do better and be better. But that's should be for me to decide. You know what I'm saying? It should be for me to decide as a human being. I've chose to get myself in better health, better shape, mentally fit, physically fit, financially fit, things of that nature, because it's all about me. But I didn't feel like I had to do it because of the company. You see what I'm saying? And it's weird that we live this life or be this way because it is what it is. And I know that this topic may not be a fit for anybody and everybody, but I hope that sometime in the future somebody will go back and listen to this and think about just what I say, because we live in a world like this that we just don't get an opportunity to look at any other way because somebody just don't talk about it. If I talk about it, I hope it gets spread to other people that it is what it is. I have friends that are heavyset, plus size, and I don't judge them any differently off based off what they are or who they are. I really just try to maintain the status of friendship that with them, because I don't look at that as a defect to how I look at life. I look at life based off of how we now I'm not going to say micromanage it, but we critique it every day that we do something. Alright, there is nothing in this world that says we are above any other country, because we're really not. We're just, people look at us as the standards, like it's trying to keep up with the Joneses on certain things. I haven't really seen, let me shut up, because I haven't really, I'm going to sit here and say that I haven't, but I've been to Japan, I've been to, Okinawa, and I've been to Iwakuni, and I've been around to see people. I won't say I never really seen too many heavyset, Japanese or Chinese people, but honestly, they're all over the world. We just don't stereotypically look at it like that. We look at the first thing you look in your head, and we've been demagnetized by this idea. The first time in your head, when you think of Japanese, you think of smaller, you think of little houses, you think of fancy cars, nice cars, because they do Nissan, they do Avalons, they do things of that nature, they do fancy sports cars. That's how the way we look. As you go around the globe, you see differences. Like they have sumo wrestlers. That is something that they have, that they glorify themselves in some sense or another. And I don't see it any different. That's the way we've stereotypically been embedded in our code and how we look at things when we see stuff like that. Like, you never know, like, how they look at us. They look at us and they might say, oh, because the thing about it is if you go to another country and you talk about certain sports, they think about certain people. Think about basketball. You're going to have some that the older ones will probably end up saying Michael Jordan. You have some that is newer age that'll say, LeBron James, Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, those that's been around. Some might even give you the idea of Marcus Camby or oh my God, Stephon Marbury, because these guys went over there and utilized their talents in another country. But that is just how we look at things in a sense, form of fashion. I don't really see how I guess I'm different breed. I'm last of a dying breed probably, that looks at things, and I say to myself, like, this is just how we see things, is how we've been diagnosed with them, how we've been embedded in our code, how we look at things so different, how we try our best not to, because we do the same thing that everybody else does. We stereotypically have our own sides and fits. That's why this this world is based off of, you know, the way we, each individual, because you have people that are Democrats, you have some that are liberals, you have some that are Republicans, you have, those that believe in, when we discuss, your human rights, and you have freedom of speech, and some that violates that freedom of speech to the extremists, and then you got some that don't really care and some that do care. And this is, our world is built off democracy, and that's fine and dandy. Everybody's entitled to their own opinion. They're entitled to say how they feel how they feel, vote for whoever they want to vote for, believe in what they want to believe in. Every person is not the same person, ever the same person. And it's not for me to sit back and judge the next person, because I am who I am. A lot of people may not like me, may not like that I'm, 268 or 265, and I'm not made the way they want me to be made. But I will tell you this much about me: I am a people person by heart. I can get along with anybody, have anybody get along with me. I'm willing to, I'm a human like everybody else. I'm willing to give my last $10. You can ask my kids. I'm willing to push the envelope and expand the idea of ideas to people. I am one in a million when it comes to who I am. And I don't expect nobody to like me fully. I don't expect anybody to really like me. My whole purpose in my lifetime now is the sole purpose of making my kids better citizens and better people in themselves. And I'm hoping that watching me do what I do, whether it's makes them feel proud or disappoints them or whatever, is for them to be able to base their own opinion off of what they've seen me do. If my kids decide to grow up and be the greatest citizens ever, then so be it. If my kids decide that the lifestyle that I lived is not the lifestyle they want, I have to either give in my opinion, go forward with what it is, and hope that they decide to change what their life is and make it better. Then it is what it is. If not, I have to just go off of what is based in life and just keep going forward, because I only got one quarter for this game. And this game, when this game is over and it says game over, I'm done. There's no rewinds, no takebacks, no nothing. When this game is over, I'm done. I'm hoping that my impression leaves a great impression on the next man, because that is what my father has done for me. And God bless his soul. It's hard. It's been hard. It's been very, very hard, because I haven't broke down yet. But the thing about it is that my father was an example of what he's done in his life. Is an example of how I try to express my kids. My father was never perfect, never asked him to be, never wanted him to be. But he gave us our own opinion, our own life, our own opportunity to be who we are. The one thing I've learned off him was he gave me a chance at something. That option, that opportunity came when I was in my earlier age, back in my early age. I did some things that was wrong, and I got upset with them, and I left the house. And their main words to me was, before this even happened, is, you got one get out of jail free card. This was like playing Monopoly with house money. So I got in trouble. Excuse me, I didn't mean to do that in front of you. I did it, got in trouble. My dad then bailed me out. I had to deal with the consequences. Consequences was 12 years supervised probation. Every month I had to pay my court fees and all that stuff, and go on with life. But in that process, the process was learning what I needed to do in life to make things better for me, and instill that onto my kids. And I haven't changed who I am because of what happened with them. I do know that in the process of whatever's happened in my life, I have to better my life. I hope that in the process of me expressing this to y'all, just this topic, this don't have to be a topic that everybody likes, everybody loves. This can be a topic that I just clearly just wanted to get off my chest because I thought it meant something to me. And you're welcome to spread this, share it if you like, if there's a way to share this, things of that nature. But really, honestly, it's really just about me. I mean, I have no reason not to be upset with the idea that the more I get into this, the more I'm enjoying this, because this is my life. I love being a influential podcast DJ. I mean, well, I call it PJ because it's podcast jockey. But I love being a PJ, and the purpose behind it all is just to give somebody a different way of thinking, or a aspect of thinking that takes them outside the box. None of us are perfect. I never lived a perfect life. I wish I was in a perfect life. I got a perfect scenario with great friends that are clearly none of them are perfect in no form or fashion. I can go down a list of them. If you talk about my music fam, it's, the Deesky Diane, Noriega the King, my brother SOS, Money Lane, J. Paul, Pimp Daddy, Fat Sheesh, the ones I deal with in music wise. Tim Hill's been a great inspiration to me. I can go down a list of those. If you're talking about my family, it's all my brothers. I can mention them all, but it'd take forever. All my sisters, I can mention them all, but it'd take forever. My mother, my dad that passed, my aunties. A lot of my aunties make a big difference on my life. Uncles, I would say uncles, but I don't really associate myself with a lot of my uncles because I don't have many uncles. But I do love my uncles, the ones that I do have, and they've been an inspiration to me. My work family, my family outside of work, Michael, the ones that I work around, Shane, that all been inspirations that walk me through life to make me a better person. But I'm never going to sit here and say I'm perfect, and I know none of these people are perfect either, but they hold a candle to my life. My roommate Allison, she's the same way. She goes through things, but she's an inspiration to me. Her sister Lauren, Mama Terry. I mean, there's people I can go down a list of people that makes a difference in my life, and I can go on forever and ever and a day. But I just try to express to people that there's a broader side to life, a broader side to me, a broader way of thinking of things. And I just pray that, even if you don't listen to this or listen to it now, it's a reference. It is a history. It is a time capsule of my inspirations, the way I think, any of that nature. And I like to go through it every now and then and go with y'all, but I have to clearly every day think differently on what I'm saying, what I'm doing, so I don't offend anybody or address anything in any kind of weird way. But I hope that this will eventually have you spark some kind of conversation down the line with anybody else, or at least get to know me better. All right. So with that being said, I am getting ready to get out of here. I promise you, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I enjoyed this episode. This episode was entitled, honestly, don't even have a title for it, to be honest with you, because it was basically just about understanding there's still discrimination in this world. We just don't see it. And you can call it discrimination unseen, or bias unseen, or whatever you want to call it. But the actuality behind it is that it's there and we just don't see it. But that was my opinion on it. Thank y'all for listening. The song I played in the very beginning is from my homeboy brother Rob the Poet Brown. It's called Friday Night with My Baby, with Your Baby. Friday Night with Your Baby. I'm sorry. And I will play it as a going out song today. I had really intended on this being a different show, but I'm going to put this on my supporters program. So if you really want to listen to this, you can listen to it on supporters program, or down the line you can eventually listen to it on the station itself. All right. With that being said, I'm getting ready to get out of here. Ways to reach me, since I don't have my old computer set up on here on this right now. Ways to reach me: you can hit me up at drezey21 at yahoo.com. That's drez as in zebra ey21 at yahoo.com. You can also text me 615-540-3998. That's 540-3998. All right. Other than that, you can check me out on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, any of the platforms. Just look up Dre's Radio Cafe or Dre or Andre Richmond, and I should be somewhere around there. You'll see me on there. YouTube also. Check me out on YouTube, Andre Richmond. Other than that, I'm getting ready to get out of here. I'm going to leave y'all with, once again, I'm going to leave y'all with Friday Night with Your Baby. And I'm hoping that you enjoyed yourself. Have a good evening. Until then, next show, this was In My Opinion. I'm your host, Andre Richmond, aka Drazy. Thank you so very, very much for tuning in. Leaving out. I'm out here. Until next show. Peace.
Oh, yeah. It's Friday night and I'm hanging with my baby.
Love God first, then self, walk with pride. Now talk about what makes you feel good inside. Love will make you feel good, make you feel whack. Rough like bark, sweet as a box of Cracker Jack. That special lady that makes your life complete. The one you're proud to be seen with when you're walking down the street. Now that's love my way. Damn it, I'm feeling okay. It's Friday, a payday, and I'm going to scoop up my baby.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right.
TGIF or something like that. Got 2 whole days to play before I have to come back to the job. The plantation, some might say adult high school with all kinds of attitudes on display. Some folks love to work, some work to chill, but everybody gotta work if they wanna pay their bills. I lost my last 2 jobs, this is my confession, so I call the job what it is, a blessing and it's quitting time. And love is the flavor, rush to the bank to get a pocket full of green paper. Weekend begins, end of my day, so call the queen and let her know the king is on the way.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right.
I call my baby, we both know the time. I says, hey princess, your place to mine. She says, either or sounds swell. Let's get out the house and chill at a hotel. She was like, what? Said we might as well rally. Got tickets to Saturday night show at Blues Alley. She was like, hey, that's what's up. Cause we can lay around all day and chill before I scoop you up. I'm going on my end. Get an outfit, a 12-pack of Heineken. This weekend, baby, it's about you and me. Pack the laptop, I'll bring a couple of DVDs. She said it sounds so exciting. Guess we'll hit the wharf, get some crab legs, some shrimp, and whiting. Now it's set, let the games begin. Cell phones off, no interruptions from family or friends. Friday with your baby, it's like a blessing. So pack those special panties so I can unwrap my present. Saturday show, by the way, Brother Rob opening up for Layla Hathaway. Hey.
It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right. It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady. I'm glad to be her man and glad that she's my baby. No one knows what else gon' happen here tonight. I just got paid and I'm gonna treat my baby right. It's Friday night and yeah, I'm hanging with my lady.